Welcome back to This Is the Omniverse for episode 7 of season 1 of The Vampire Lestat. This is the season finale. Last episode, we ended with Louis and Lestat both being decapitated when they were jumped upon by Daniel and freaking Armand in the middle of the park, sitting there on the bench while they were really talking through their lives and their feelings and their future. And just, blinded by that fog of love, and just, but as we know, they survive. How? No idea. Or at least I know Louis does, because he's at the auction that we flashed back from at the start of the season. So we got to get there at one point. Armand's got to lose an eye. There's no way we killed Lestat. I mean, not on his own show. No way. No way. Not with all the talk too about from Fareed about vampires being able to actually survive decapitation. Anyway, let's see what happens, man. If you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon. Over there, you get to watch it without all the edits we got to do, get this stuff up on YouTube. It's just a great way to support the channel and help us do things you do here. But at the end of the day, really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. To least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. Huge shout out to the team over at Prepper for helping edit down these highlights for guys here on YouTube. And then I'll send it that way. Let's get ready to hop into episode 7, The Failures. Here we go.
You are listening to The Failures. Album 57, Side A.
Oh, we just flipped sides.
I am staring at Alex in his plastic Dracula mask. And then the world pivots, and I see stars in the sky.
Oh, what a POV. Whoa.
Half-painted moon.
A half-painted moon. Oh, dude, what a start. Getting that perspective.
Now I'm hungry, and it's daylight all around. And as I'm a vampire, confirmed by the glass nails on my fingers, I should be burning, but I'm not. As if the forest has heard my thoughts, a murder of waiters carrying silver dome trays take over my path.
What in the world?
Falling behind.
That's eerie.
And I follow my hunger into the wood.
Or not.
Carries my hunger to the table of my youth.
Oh.
Where my selves sit for
Whoa. Oh, his selves.
Lestat?
Lestat.
Have a seat, Lestat.
Lestat.
There's 7 waiters and only 4 of us.
Have a seat.
The lights come out of your blue eyes.
Oh, whoa. Look who's here now. What is that?
I have been enduring intense conversations with myself.
Oh no.
And as part of that journey, I wish to say something from the deepest regions of my
I need to
soul.
read you my apology letter.
The coven was twisting my arm, but I took aesthetic pleasure in making your death visually exhilarating.
What?
Can't move my body.
Well, about that.
As for the many boys you drugged, drained, and laid
Oh God!
as your guilt in their aftermath bound you to me all the more tightly and allowed me my hours of observation with Daniel.
Oh my God, dude. Both Armand and Claudia have been playing him, living up to this expectation, this illusion of a relationship for their own ends in different ways. Oh my God, that's so messed up. What in the world, dude? God, right here where I paused it to. I told you I loved you, but did I?
I told you I loved you, but did I? Did I? I think I might be a room without walls.
Oof.
An infinite nothing. Also, yes, I put the Fred Steins in your photo collection just to fuck with your head.
You motherfucker, dude. Amends my ass. Hence the quotes, I guess.
It's your turn.
Oh my God. It's your turn to what? Write your own apology or what? Good God.
Magnus, Fledglings, state your names for the record.
I don't. Wow. Maybe that was his self-discovery over the course of it, why he kept like cycling these things despite these contradictory feelings. And then this is just like the determining factor, or simply that was just always the case. Like, I chose my covenant of you, but I took pleasure in making your death as extravagant as possible. But then when it backfired, he like receded, took credit for the to Armand's or to Lestat's interference to hide and shelter under his love, and use that relationship they had built together to get his own freedom in a way, just in the same way that Claudia did after everything, or at least claims that she did after everything. God, that's so fucked up, man. Good Lord.
The vampire Nicolas de l'Enfant.
I mean, that's assuming I understood all of that, correct?
The vampire Gabriella Vece. The vampire Antoinette Brown. The vampire TC.
TC!
She said all she needs to say to you is what she said.
Oh, goodness. Oh.
Fuck y'all, go burn like that dumb nine-fingered bitch Antoinette.
Oh, God.
Nightly failures of the vampire.
How is not his name is Lestat.
Wasting time, much like you've wasted your lives.
Could be nice.
Could be.
Oof.
So you're all here to judge me.
We are the failure finders. Judgment comes from God, Satan, the simulation. We don't know. No one ever tells us.
We're open to all the possibilities here.
It's a dream. I am not here.
You are here.
And also in a bowling ball bag.
Oh my God.
Also lying on a sideboard in the back room of a butcher shop.
Oh, that's where his body is then?
Anyone who might possibly think of coming to your rescue is asleep.
Oh my God. This is fucked up.
This is your sundered head, and this is your petulant body, and this is the glorious air between.
Jesus Christ.
2 hours and 12 minutes since uncoupling. Without progeny, this would not be happening. You would be dead.
Oh.
Being life cast to a very important room gathered in Budapest.
What the fuck? Oh, look who it is.
Yes, if you reconsider your amends and survive, you most probably won't remember him.
Oh, wow.
Getting some much needed rest before the big concert, aren't we? I backdoored myself into his band. Enjoyed ruining for the sake of ruining. No.
Wow, there it is.
Where's his head? It's with my companion.
Oh my God, it's Daniel with it.
Before the wife woke up, did you? Told me to take my head as far away from her body as I could.
Bah! God.
We owe him new knives and a deep clean. You may own the night, Louis, but you're as kosher as clams, Cassie.
Wait, is it Regina? Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
She didn't know. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Magnus gifted you boundless lucre.
Magnus speaks in the third person when he's on the back foot.
Plays ran for a century and a half.
That's longer than Wicked.
Course 214, The Soul.
Yes, it is.
I am your maker. I knew you for a week.
Ask for it, wolf killer, and you shall love forever.
I refused.
Consent is a 20th century concern.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, yeah.
I have 2 makers.
Yeah.
You want her? You want mommy in the chair?
Yes.
Oh. she shifted back to her old... Oh, and the location changed too. Oh, that's nifty. I guess the chair holder dictates the location of the table.
Brought to life when I used an old photo of Claudia in her baby blue blues and facial recognition software on my iPad to find this. Zone 2 girly with a grifter's resume.
Oh my God.
You walk into a Brooklyn diner, I would say, shh, calm yourself, he's here for you. And she would walk up and say, best thing to do with our burger.
What the fuck, bro?
He was in my head, but he wasn't there.
I would say endear yourself to him, and she'd say, had a few mod hopes for New York, but so far it's been like 6 flatmates, 1 toilet.
Oh my Lord. How did he? This is some next level fuckery, dude.
She knew better.
Sure you do. Right there.
This is some elaborate revenge or torture or both or whatever.
I'm going to lob her head off with this same blade I did yours and sew your head onto her body.
This dude is a fucking lunatic. Like, what on earth? Like, like I said, like, a lot of what we learned from Louis was very much so like a flowery remembrance for the most part until we started to really kind of peel back some of the layers of certain things that he didn't quite understand or get. But, like, what on earth? I mean, I know he put Armand through some shit over the play and all that, which, you know, kind of deserved. But, like, is this... What, just like pleasure for fun? I don't, this is some next level like repentance or revenge or whatever. Like what on earth did we miss or not see or misunderstand or that I'm not understanding that would lead one to be like, this is the logical next step for getting back at my ex or whatever. This is crazy. Fucking crazy. Holy shit. And Dan is just like, you know what? Let's go.
You took one look at me, had me all figured out. Yeah, question mark. Smarter than me? Maybe. Better looking than me? I'll give you that.
Gave me the gift rather than tell me he loved me. I begged him to say it. Say, Nikki, I will never love you the way that you love me.
Gotta say that shit him all up in the air if you want it to stick.
Transformational trauma and find myself in my
Better
than me, didn't you? Gave me a little camera crew. Look at you now, spending your last hours in a fucking bowling bag listening to Wheelchair Jimmy blow me.
There is a lot coming at you, mon cher.
Yeah, that is an understatement.
Oh yeah, he's in there. It's in there. Lestat's mom made you, yeah?
Oh.
She give you the autism gift?
Farid assured me it would work. Pop it back on, let the blood do its magic.
On a work visa.
Not sure it would work on a mortal, but this is how progress is made. Trial and error.
Oh my God.
Gonna end up on a grippy sock holiday.
Like, let's just experiment. Can we put a dissevered vampire head on a mortal body? Let's find out. Fuck it. Let's go.
But I wasted a near century. And that is not nothing. That deserves amends.
So he feels slighted for all of that, for the abuse he suffered at the hand of Louis, in spite of the thing he did at the fucking play?
Listen, rest.
God.
Rest.
Okay. God. This is insane.
Cross between a self-absorbed Robert Plant impersonator and an 80s hot dog.
Ooh.
Yes, but we did not see you at Potawa Tommy's in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Turn to page 3, measure 95.
Oh God. Hey, wait, is that the guy he killed for sucking at the opera or whatever? Yeah, it is.
The performance of Don Pasquale.
And him.
As an expert in your...
Me?
It's an unwitting meal of the vampire Lestat.
And him.
I won't forget, you also participated.
When I call out your name,
Already behind. You should be anticipating the beat.
Oh God, he's critiquing him.
My.
Wow, this is fucking wild, dude.
Learn something from your Italian mother.
Oh, come on. Stop.
Flat.
Screaming like a witch at the stake.
Whoa. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Whew, what in the world? This is a lot to take in. Oh my God.
Father favored the daughter. The mother mixed to death couple mushrooms in his castle.
Wow.
Schoolmaster cleans up his transgressions, most cowardly.
Black mask in the breaks between!
Oh, yeah.
And Amy Roulet, 9 years each.
Amy Roulet.
What did they see?
She used to play in our home.
Run from this place.
Yeah.
She could burn hot.
No.
Oh, she was trying to get him to leave, to run, to go out into the world away from all this pestilent, ignorance. Oh, whoa. Wow. Oh my God. Again, those learned things that he echoes on. Yeah, like that thing. Yeah.
Call it tough love there.
Then he kills the wolves.
Oh, he's broke.
Lestat's makers love the Lestat.
This is not about his vampire life. Why are we even discussing this? Strike it from the record.
Wow. This is such a wild, fucked up episode.
There were 1,600 of you when we first met, Daniel.
Oh.
290,000 of you now.
Holy shit.
Raglan, this is Alex. He's on the vampire spectrum. Alex, this is Raglan. He's a watcher. He watches. He's watchful. He's always watching.
You said that one already.
You roll, Raglan?
Mentor for the Junior Fun Bunch, yes. I also came for a particular outdoor concert, didn't purchase event cancellation insurance.
Oh.
We want the bag.
Oh.
He's crosstown, waiting for the butcher to open.
Oh, interesting.
Never forgave you for
Paris.
No, I never did.
Yeah. Hold up. What did this say? I couldn't see it. It was out of focus. Sorry, Magnus Tower, kissing you in front of Lestat. Couldn't pin me on companionship. Kissing you in front of Lestat. Not for you, never. It was for him. Yeah, oh God. Yeah, for using him, fronting him, flaunting him. Like, that's like all it ever was. Like, even when he was like, Lestat's calling, he's like, nope. Is Louis there? Nope. The little mediation thing, it was never about him. He was just a little tool in the middle of it all. Like, I guess, like a rebound to escape Lestat, as much as maybe he confused that or like whatever. Yeah, okay. We're starting to see the picture here, though. This is such a fucking extreme to go.
Never forgave you for
Paris.
No, I never did.
I mean, you probably shouldn't.
Rest.
Can't, won't.
Then what are you sorry for?
Love of my life was him.
Whoo.
Rest.
We want him to play the concert.
I want to play the concert.
Alex wants to play the concert.
Why?
We've been planning it for a year.
Wait, what? What?
Urging it on the periphery, as we do.
Why? What do you gain out of it?
We came up with that.
You want the great conversion.
Wait, why?
Nutrient loss equivalents.
Even now, still thinking about him. Sorry.
Oh God, his eyes just keep drifting and drifting and drifting. He's not getting what he wants out of this, and he's getting frustrated.
Rescue the head, save the planet.
It's a bit of a stretch. Can't see your kind governing, but then you and I have our own reasonings.
Alchemist Magnus chooses him to carry on the blood.
Oh shit.
No biological rationale for head here and body there. That's the soul fighting, Daniel.
Romps with my rotten boy.
Okay.
Live that lie so fully that it might as well be true.
To live the lie so fully might as well be true.
Meaning beyond mortality. Wonder returned.
Yeah.
Raglan.
Daniel?
Oh, what the hell?
Things I wasn't.
Things I was not.
Oh, God, look at the collar leaving his skin.
Didn't talk about it much.
We didn't talk about it much.
With you.
Shut it off.
Oh. Ooh.
I didn't want to think on my own sins. Or picture you at 12.
Oh.
You at 12?
Yeah.
I saw good in you for a while.
Damn. Fuck. Look how quickly they have me flop. It's so good.
Bad things happen to girlies who talk.
He healed her.
2.0 absorbable nylon suture to reaffix the head, close the wound. Isn't going to do much other than hold the head in place while it fuses through the blood.
Wow, and he's putting it back in, and he's done. That's all he needed. That's wild, man. I guess that's like one of those things that he never really confronted, because like he said, they never really talked about that. You know, he's like, he saw, you know, he grew, like once he learned about his backstory, his history and all of that, you know, it reminded him of just his own horrors, the things that he took part in, his own sins, like the business he grew up in himself over there. And then just thinking about him at the age that he was, sold into the life that he was, and how that's a story that he knows. And he's like, he saw the good in him that was there at a time, and maybe it was there over buried deep beneath all this like vampireship and all this hardship that was thrown his way, and that he deserved, like he said, this cathedral, a shelter of love, and he simply couldn't provide that. And instead he used that vulnerability, he used that affection. And then after the whole thing with him choosing the coven over him and still carrying around that pain, it reminds me of Claudia's outburst, like where I feel like there's a grain of truth, but all of the taint over the years, or the taint in the afterlife, maybe exacerbated things, though she did admit to manipulating him, and so did he after a point that it was easy to do so. But that his coldness, his callousness, his inability to understand. I mean, to be fair, it's a huge thing. I don't even know how you really do reconcile from that. Like, I feel like after the whole play thing, it's pretty valid to not be okay with that, even though he spent the next decade plus basically using and torturing him. He got her killed. Like, I don't know, man. It's such a fucked up thing to like try to weigh one against the other. But I get the psychological torture that comes from that, and the position Armand was in at the time, given that, like, you know, it's not something you can make up for at all, ever. Really. No. And like you said, I'll never forgive you for that. But at the same time, you know, he acknowledges that he did purposefully torture him and never really loved him when he could have deserved that or should have found that somewhere else. And that went beyond and before that even took place. You know, he even talks about it too. Every time he's like, oh, let's not put a label on it. Like when you look back on a lot of their early relationship, it was more of just a rebound and escape. And, you know, the way that Louis would like talk to him, the way that he would, his demeanor around it, the way that he would just kind of like dance around the were they or won't they about their relationship. He was very like coy and distant about it when they talked about it. And I think that goes to show that it was all about either A, moving on about Lestat, or just once Lestat was back in the picture, rub it in his face. And he wanted every moment about that to be a great or a grit or a jab at him, you know, dating him to like spurn Lestat or whatever, you know. And then that's just, it's like none of their relationship was fair up until this point. And then it did push him to this extreme. And now he's gonna put him back together again now that he got that. You know, he went on his apology tour, and then the one person he needed an apology from, he's like, I'm getting it from you. Oh, dude, he fucking, will that stick? Will that stay? Interesting.
And he threw himself on the shore, and he let the grave diggers fish him from
I love how he keeps flickering back to that lamppost.
Now that's acting.
Who lives to make him miserable, daddy traps him, slits his throat, and fucks his ex. A lot.
Oh my god. When you put it like that, yeah, dude, Louis kind of a massive piece of shit from that lens, that perspective. God.
An album and the cause.
The soul.
He sits on a bench like a stupid idiot.
Oh my god.
A waste, a failure. The bimbo himbo of Hambone.
The bimbo himbo of Hambone.
Your whole goddamn life. A pathetic failure.
Oh, the alarm's going off. The timer that was set. That was such a wicked goddamn sequence, man.
LESTAT. One life only. Tickets to a Ticketmaster. Inevitable complaints to Roger and Associates.
Yeah?
Andrea! Let's hear it for Sophia, Gabs, and the fledglings of failure! Congratulations for your historical proximity to me.
Oh my. Yeah.
You do. Fuck that song! That is a song you wash your car to.
Perhaps that's the purposeful life of LESTAT. Made more clean cars. Should have said that at the launch table.
I mean, well.
Think of the perfect thing to say to the Pope an hour after you leave the Vatican.
Yeah, all the time. Totally relatable.
I know you. I drained you in Vienna, Christmas market, 1953.
God, does he remember everybody?
I spilled a lot of your blood. I was in a foul mood that evening. You deserved better.
Oh.
A lot of familiar faces in the audience tonight.
Oh, wait, what is that? Is he giving them rest, giving them peace? What is happening?
Baggage man, New York Limited.
Oh, no.
Black Licorice. I wrote a song about you. I killed you in the lower night. Thank you for coming.
Oh, God. The timer again. Is it how long he has?
In a venue of overwhelming sentiment, because, well, this is the place.
Oh, God, look at that.
Wrapped its belt around my aorta.
Yeah, dude. It's the street.
What a life it's been.
Play Lord Bass!
Shut your fucking mouth.
In the end, I think I was pretty fucking great!
Hell yeah!
If I failed,
then that means I actually attempted something.
That is very, very fucking true.
I don't know if I mean that.
That was performative.
Fair enough. A lot of your shtick is.
I loved you. I did. As grotesque as that love appeared to you, I did.
I wonder if this has been in real time.
We got a great show for you tonight. We're gonna play a new song for you tonight.
Hell yeah! Plastic Dracula Alex.
I was supposed to stage dive just a could be. Hands touch.
Oh, he keeps coming back to that moment.
I'm feeling a little.
Oh, it's getting closer and closer to that time.
Can someone tell?
Ooh, God, the editing of this episode is on another level.
A package with the most beautiful wrapping, and I hope it got to who was meant for.
Oh wait, who's that coming?
Rammer.
Oh, whoa. Oh.
He has a hard time saying it. Got that from my daddy. It doesn't mean he doesn't. It's just his way.
Oh.
Thank you for loving him.
Wow.
For loving him the way he needs to be loved. I still wish you were a woman.
Me too sometimes.
Valid. Oh, this is a visitor I never expected, but that's so beautiful.
Okay. You sure about that? Yes, ma'am.
You reset the timer.
Would you believe me if I said the next thing I remember is waking up on my tour bus?
Wow. Yeah. Because the Talamasca put him back together. That's fucking wild.
The shoe leather of how I got there was explained to me by a man I did not recognize, but who I now call a friend.
Interesting.
They trailed our parts to their destinations and followed their protocols of engagement.
Wow.
About whose idea it was to bring me from my immortal brush with mortality directly to the now infamously catastrophic gig.
Catastrophic?
A second thought saved them all from my provoked rage.
Where's Louis?
He didn't go into the details of his day.
I
would only hear of them later.
Oof.
After the concert.
Oh, I didn't even notice his either, too, because of his hair.
You get torn apart! You do it because I am not going on stage! I am not fucking singing, you fucking monster!
Woo! Ooh!
Struggle to articulate is something. I look around my living room where I record this now, and everything just feels off.
Oh, yo.
Have I scaled the walls of your privilege, made you feel how I felt in the summer, spring, and fall of 2025? These reels returned to me unsold.
Oh, interesting.
You are listening to The Failures, Album 58, Side A.
Butterscotch bitch.
That I had made a contribution. Let me take that back.
Oh, whoa. What happened? What happened? What happened that night, bro? God damn it. What? Son of a bitch. What a way to end. What a freaking way to end. I think I had heard somebody say that, like, the actual book for the Vampire Lestat was encompassed in this alone, because I was expecting another season, but I'm guessing, like, from what I've been told, at least, this is going to be like a one and done, like, because the next season would just be the next book, I guess, which would be fucking interesting. I mean, this whole thing reads like definitely a closing chapter to everything that's been building up to this, where Interview with the Vampire felt like part 1 and part 2 of something. This felt very encapsulated, very whole by the end of it. What a wild exploration of the toxic relationships that they've cultivated in their lives, and how everybody in their own extremely fucked up ways have navigated their own kind of like complexities, the faults of their own, the faults of the other, and how they've tried desperately to heal. Everybody's been trying to just heal. Just a bunch of traumatized, messed up immortals sifting through the chaos of their fucked up immortal life and trying to find some semblance of peace on the other side of it, to either the things that they've done or the things that the people they've done things to. And God, Armand's thing, like again, like it's hard to like weigh things in one way, but like it's so, the devastation that Louis wrought on him to push him to this point, and for Louis to then own that in the end, and also the admission that it just was never even there to begin with. And that's another tortured thing, because he's wasted so much time vying for something he was never going to get, that was never even there to begin with, and then I get that frustration as well, to waste a century of your life for something that wasn't real or wasn't there or wasn't obtainable. Like and on top of that, the coldness, the callousness, the abuse of it all. I always come back to the butt though. The play was fucked up, man. It was absolutely fucked up. But I like how he also was like, Claudia was always your weak point and you were his. It's just, and like with that very same comparison, it just wasn't mutual on the other side of that. Not to the way that they thought. It's interesting how everybody has their own kind of cyclical, toxic relationship, in the way that we see how Lestat passed his own down into the way that he interacted with Louis, and the way that he interacted with Claudia, his own traumas, and enacting them again, both in the way that he's learned to adapt, but also in the things that he had done to him, he ended up doing to them as well. I love this like exploration of his psyche as he's like winding down in his final fleeting moments in his mind, and that fucking bowling ball bag. Good Lord, Daniel, you bitch. I love you, you fucking sycophantic cunt. But my God, that whole everything, like with him being like on trial almost with his own demons, was so fun to go through, because it just, it shows like everything in a nice concise way that he's been through, but also like how by the end of it too, he's kind of come out on the other side of it, trying to at least to rise above his failures, or to drown out the fact that he's a failure at all, because that's all he hears, all he thinks is these things in the back of his mind. He's like, you know what, fuck you. Did I waste my gift a little bit? Did I not honor it in the way that I probably should have? Probably, but at least I tried. If I failed, that meant I attempted something, and at least he did something, and that's a pretty solid, powerful sentiment, because the worst thing I think you can do is not even attempt anything. At least failure means you tried, you did it, and you get information from that you can use for the next time around to do better, hopefully, in the next venture. Every failure is a learning experience, and if anything, that's all he's been doing too. I love it too, because he's been learning, he's been growing, as he's been evolving. They all have, very fucking slowly, very slowly, but they've been doing it. Yeah, so like I'm a little confused, I'll admit though, about the Talamasca wanting him to go to stage and orchestrating from the shadows this event, that they want this to happen. And my immediate thought after that was like, yes, because we want them all in as many of them in one spot as we can, so we can cull the herd, maybe. Because he still said that it was a tragic performance or a cataclysmic concert or whatever it was, event. I just don't know what actually transpired, what to expect from that, what we'll even know. And then what happened to this city, man? Is that because the vampires went on a rampage or because they tried to nuke them all, or what in the world happened? But they said that more people are being killed now than being born because of this rise in vampires, but they seem to be not put off by that at all. And even mostly just curious and navigating it. Maybe it's some kind of worldwide reset, because if it wasn't going to be the vampires, humanity maybe was going to be leading itself to its own destruction. So maybe there's some kind of like, I don't know, balancing act they're trying to play with all of it. I don't really know. But the fact that they were watching the entire time, and if anything was going to go awry, they were going to intervene, and intervene they did. And I like that when Lestat woke up, he at least stood up for himself, because Gabriella just wanted him immediately to go out there and fulfill his duty as per usual. Louis back together here. They're back together. I don't know what that means for them and their relationship right now, though they've both admitted to each other that they are the one true loves for each other out of everybody that they've come across throughout their lives, despite everything. And I think at least Armand probably got the peace of mind he was hoping for or seeking after all of that, especially once he turned off the recording and started and had him reassembled. And seems to be Daniel. It's just a wild fucking roller coaster, this show, this series, these characters, man. So, and I forget his name, but the actor that plays Armand, everybody in this show, everybody is fucking so good in their roles. Like, offensively good in their roles, you know? And then, but I did want to highlight that whole like interrogation sequence with Armand. I was like, God, man, he fucking was chilling. So chilling. Yeah, I don't know what to say with a lot of this right now, except for, you know, there's a lot we kind of talked about already throughout the journey of this. But as far as like the road ahead, I really don't fucking know, man. And that's fun. I'm very curious to see what's up next. I know they got a panel for the Vampire Lestat at SECC this week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into it. And they're not doing any kind of press, because I was trying to see if they had like a press room, press line or anything like that. And as far as I can tell, they don't. But maybe they'll announce the next thing, because as far as I know, I don't think anything official has been said just yet. We'll have to wait and see, man. All right, man, let's head to Patreon. All right, we're going to start off with Olivia Steele. After the finale, how do you feel about Armand as a character, and do you feel sympathy/empathy for him? I do, but I know there are many people who don't. I'm curious where you land on the spectrum between complete empathy and complete hate for him. I guess I have been on this teetering balancing act as the narration and the narrative journey the stories take you on always make you flip around. But no, I do feel sympathy and empathy for him, because I know partially what that is like to be in those shoes, and just a fraction of the way that he's experienced, and also the life that he grew up in. And like that, even it also helps that Louis acknowledged it as well, that he was, you know, he acknowledged his part in it, he acknowledged his side of it, and that also helps illuminate that other side as well. Yeah, 100%. Do I think he handled it well? No, none of them have. Do I forgive him for what he did to Claudia and to him on the stage, or was that any kind of like excuse or justification for that? No. But like, again, from his position, I get why he made those calls. I get why he was doing certain things, and I understand what he went through after the fact and what that's like to chase a thing you don't, whatever, you know, this abusive relationship that he was hoping to get something out of. Yeah, I do. They're all interesting, complex, equally fucked up villains and heroes of their own story. But that's the thing about them all. Like, they don't really shy away from their darker nature. Or, well, they try to sometimes, but at least they kind of acknowledge it in the end, by the end of each of their stories, which is kind of interesting. Good God, this next one is a long one. Holy shit, Arlie, relax. To start my mini thoughts, I just want to point out something you might not have noticed in the episode. 1, at the auction, I heard you refer many times to Armand's missing eye, but Louis is missing at least part of his leg. It's why he was walking with a cane. Oh shit, I did not even notice that. I didn't notice that. I was used to him using a cane back in his past, so I just thought it was part of the aesthetic. Before I get the episode, what are your thoughts on Claudia reveal from the previous episode? I know you hoped that she wasn't telling the truth about manipulating and hating Louis in the past. Did your opinion change once you had more time to sit with it? I mean, I'm pretty much like right where I was for the most part. I think it's probably true, but only I think it's very true because it mirrors what Armand admitted here, but I think the rage and the hatred that comes out of it was exacerbated by the abuse and the circumstances they were put in either before or after the fact by Louis. So I think it was just embellished due to the rage in the afterlife and all of that. But it had to have been true based on the train thing, at least to some extent. My personal read is that since we saw Claudia in the first 2 seasons through Louis, it was a more idealized version of her. And even then, you can see resentment in her in season 2 that she's trying to tamp down, for sure. I think that after Bruce, she realized that she can't travel on her own. Both Lestat and Louis wouldn't go with her. So she picked the one that she could manipulate more easily. That's not to say that she didn't love Louis. I think that the level of hate was built up on the afterlife. See, that's where I land on it as well. Like, kind of somewhere in the middle. I also think that back on the bench scene between Louis and Lestat, once again, Claudia's tragedy is just another thing that they can bond over, and it's never really about her. True, very true. Armand this season reminds me of the song Agatha All Along from WandaVision. He really messed up everything all along. Yeah, dude, puppeteered goddamn everything. The attack on Lestat in the first episode is the reborn children of darkness, his cult. The fact that Louis doesn't know how Claude works, Armand is using an iPad to track down a clone, is very amusing for me. For the oldest one here, he does know his way around tech. That is also very true. Yeah, he was like on it, man. That's the next level gaming right there that he was playing. That was some 5D, 6D chess even. Like how Armand in this episode says Louis was his Claudia. I think is the perfect summary of that relationship. Armand was with Louis not to be alone. It was never really about him in the same way that even though Louis loved Claudia, he always made it about him in the end. Louis and Armand both share an arc this season where they are seeking closure for the past relationship as Louis pulls Claudia from the afterlife to get his closure, and Armand does all of this to get his. Yes, very, very, very much so. There's a little amends, which is a very funny bit. He never actually addresses the death of Claudia. I think that goes back to his "I could not prevent it" spiel. Could he have prevented her death at the theater? I think so. But in his mind, since he never actually got to know her, she was always going to die because of the age she was turned at. It's still something he sees as an inevitable conclusion to her life, so he genuinely doesn't feel guilt over it. Yeah, both him and Lestat feel very similarly in that fashion, and at least kind of always echoed that sentiment. I love the scene where Louis acknowledges Armand's trauma and apologizes for not treating him right in the relationship. Lestat's acting is amazing. That's not to say Armand was the victim in the relationship. I mean, this apology could not possibly be done under more duress, but I do think it's more complex than just Armand being the bad guy. Agreed. Armand told him about the abuse he suffered in the past, and Louis introduced a dynamic to the relationship that evokes that trauma. Very fucking true. And he knew that too. He grew up in a business that was all about that very same thing. Let's see. It takes him back a little bit to his pimp days. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly what I just said. Don't get me wrong. Not trying to say the victims of SA cannot enjoy being submissive, which they very much so can. I know plenty of people that like, despite all of that, still lean into it as a form of comfort and never really lost it. It depends. Everybody deals with their trauma in very different ways. There's not like one way to go into it, but like that is a very true thing. But does it raise the question of, did Armand go with it because it's something he actually enjoys, or because it's a role he knows how to exist in and how to use it to his advantage to still have control? It could be both, but I think after all of this, it might be the latter. This was the first we actually saw someone acknowledge Armand's trauma. Lestat makes light of it in the song Big Boss, and Daniel also makes comments that dismiss it. Louis had a very nice arc this season of being more empathetic and self-reflective, as we saw with Lestat last episode and now with Armand. Yeah, for sure. He's acknowledging his toxicity in these relationships, because I think he's turned a blind eye to it, or just simply not faced it at all, or not cared to face it at all. As he's been working on himself all this time, yeah, he has kind of like looked at his side of things and the part he played in everybody else's lives, and starting to really kind of take some ownership of it. That's not what the Armand was actually seeking out of Louis, but it is what he actually needed to hear. To give you a quote from a recent interview, Armand's thought process was more this: our entire history was built on a lie. I'll give you that. Now, can you tell me what you did in this relationship to fuck it up? Because it can't have been just me. Sodermond's actor, how do you feel about the scene between them? I mean, no, I totally get that. I don't really have too much else to really add to that scene, but I think that's the best that they could hope for about their own situation, and the way to express both their fault in and abstinence from the things they could and couldn't control, but taking ownership of the things they could control, because there's a lot of that as well. Moving to Lestat, I hope this arc, I loved his arc this season, learning to acknowledge his trauma. I know that a lot of people are disappointed we didn't get to the final concert, but I think finishing the season with him finally telling Gabriella off was very satisfying. Yeah, I agree. I feel like the concert would be kind of counterintuitive to everything that we've built up to this point, with how everything played out, at least. His scene with Paul was wonderful. Paul telling him that Louis loves him means he's not a failure, because as long as someone loves you, you didn't fail completely. When I first saw Paul appear, I wondered if that meant Lestat was actually responsible for his death, since we were in a room filled with his victims. But Lestat does say something along the lines of it being people that he's had an impact on, not just people he directly killed. So in the end, I don't think so. What do you think of that? I think he was telling the truth before when he didn't kill Paul, even though there's a lot of presumption that maybe he possibly did. But of his ability to even come in here, and this is all his mind, his mental prison of sorts, was that really Paul, or was that the specter of his own creation, of his own mind? Or did he lie to Louis? I don't know. I'm keen to believe that he didn't, and this was just simply the afterlife looking down upon him, because we saw Paul call out to something else, and I think it was just somebody coming out here from the other side to tell him it's okay, he's good, and it's not his time, kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, you could go the other route with it too. He was a victim and he was there, and maybe just indirectly. But I don't know, because like whether he did it intentionally or not, Paul did say that man's the devil or whatever, stay away from him, and maybe that fear pushed him over the edge, and Lestat didn't actually have a hand in it himself, but kind of like his presence made it happen. Like the domino effect of him being in Louis' life is what did it, rather than him compelling him to do it or physically doing it. Either way, I don't know. It's hard to say. At a certain point, we hear birds in the background, and Paul used to say that he heard God through them, and he did. Yeah, he did. And he's like, "Oh, she says," or whatever he said. It was like he was listening to God in that moment about what was going on. My interpretation of his moment was that it was like, okay, we're sending him back. So I guess another interpretation was that it's not a figment of Lestat's imagination, but a ghost being sent down to pick up Lestat, who's to say with the show is crazy, and I love it. Agreed. It could go so many different ways, and I feel like right now there's enough evidence to really support any take, really. All the songs are on Spotify. I recommend giving them a listen, as some appear on episodes for a short time or just in the instrumental version. The final song, Butterscotch Bitch, plays during Lestat's Mind concert, just in instrumental, and but it is in the credits though. To end this endless essay with a not so fun fact, when Armand mentions sewing Louis' head upon Regina's body, that is a reference to the book Vampire Armand, where he mentions that he cut off Claudia's head before the execution and attempted to attach it to an adult body. It's such a very unhinged character. What's fucked, dude? I'm glad that the show does get that across, along with the tragedy of his life. I do apologize for this long-ass comment. No, it was a very thoughtful and engaging comment, so I appreciate it. I liked all that a lot. Next up, we have Simply A. I've enjoyed watching the Interview with the Vampire and the Vampire Lestat with you. Now that we're at the end of the season, my question is, how do you think your commentary on seasons 1 and 2 would change if you went back and watched it again, knowing what you now know about Lestat and Louis' POV at the time he was doing the interview? I feel like it would change like drastically with all of this knowledge about what was actually going on with Louis, what was actually going on with Lestat. And not that we know like the hard truth of it all, but we know a lot more about both of them that is clearer than the version and contradictory to the version that we got, but there were still subtle it would be wildly different. I feel like that would be a fun thing to do, though. Maybe down the road we might do something like that. I think that could be real fun. Love this final episode and the metaphysical exploration. It's also an episode rife with body horror and the macabre. But for me, the most horrifying moment was either when Magnus and Gabriella's were at the long table talking about how they loved their Lestat. And that moment at 25:26 when you are shown Lestat's real expression the first time his mother physically abused him, rather than the glossed over version he revealed earlier. But I appreciate its necessity because it's showing us how now he can face it and try to heal from it, with him finally calling her out as a monster at the end, a term which he had previously used for himself. Yeah, very true. He always thought himself the abused, him a monster because of everything else, as opposed to like the people that abused him. So it's the next step to calling her out for what she is, to stand up to her for what she had done to him, you know, the way that she had forced herself upon him and all this kind of stuff. He used his love for her and groomed and all of it. Yeah, it was great shit, man. Next up, we got Tammy. Thanks for a great season of reactions. What was your favorite moment / scene of this season? Ooh, that's a good question. Immediately, the first thing that jumps to mind is like the spat from the street last episode with Louis and Lestat after they get out of the car, just because of the explosive, visceral nature of that blowout between the two of them, airing all that out, and then to kind of the fallout after the fact. And just the acting in general. I thought that was fucking phenomenal. I'm going to go with that right now because I think as far as like acting and like going through this roller coaster of emotions from kind of slightly comedic to just absolutely heartbreaking by the end of it, it was I don't know. I really, really enjoyed that moment. Let's see. Next up, we got Chiara. What a great finale and what a great season that was. As a longtime fan of the books, especially of this book, that was everything I could have possibly wanted from an adaptation. How do you feel about the season and its complexities? How the deep dive into this POV has changed your POV about Lestat as a character, if it's changed? Oh, it's 180 for before, because, well, I mean, okay, it's gone a long way to reinforce the 180 that occurred in the middle of episode 7 of season 2 of Interview, when we started to see a little glimmer of the vulnerable, the real Lestat, not the facade or anything like that. And this just kind of filled in a lot of those gaps as we explored all of his intricacies, why he is the way he is, why he acts the way he acts, and what's actually going on underneath it all. Just shines the light on, yes, that was the real him. It changes the complete perspective of Louis' version of him from those stories as well. It's 100% completely shifted, and yeah, it's they're all tragic characters, and I feel like Lestat is no different. I got a lot of sympathy for him after all of this too. Next up, we got REM. What a freaking finale. It's been great watching you react to these. Your thoughts have been wonderful to hear. And my questions are you satisfied with this finale? Yes. And what do you think will go down in season 4? And lastly, how do you rank these 3 seasons? I would go... I would go this season 1, season 2 for me. I think I like season 1 of the Vampire of Interview with the Vampire more than the second. Both are fantastic, but I think I like that story better. At least the first half of that story. But this was so fun. This was so fun and just like locked in with Sam Reed through the whole ride. Delightful. I loved it to death. As far as what will go down next season, no fucking clue. I have no idea. We're leading to an apocalypse of some kind. Next up, we got Natalie. What's your theory on what ends up making Lestat perform despite ending the season refusing to sing? We know the infamous concert will happen, so something must push Lestat to go on stage still. Also, what was your favorite the Vampire Lestat song? I still have only listened to the ones that have played in the show, and I've only listened to them the one time I've watched it. So it's hard to really gravitate to anyone, which is why anytime I've been asked this, I say the intro sequence, because I love it. It's a bop. And it's stuck in my head most of the week. And it's the only one I know all that, at least can remember, at least. But yeah, as far as like what actually gets him to perform, I don't know. I really have no idea. Because he seems like the last thing he wanted to do was actually get on stage. But obviously he does, and something happened. I don't know. I really don't know. If you want to do more like bonus or behind the scenes content, I highly recommend Autumn Brown's interviews, especially the After Dark or the official After Dark episodes. Have a weak host in my opinion, but Autumn interviewed the main actors as well as the editors, director, and other casts like the band Akasha and Gabby's actresses, Nikki and Magnus's actors as well. I will keep that in mind. And then lastly, we got Sia Bach. What are your thoughts on the characters' development throughout the 3 seasons, and how drastically has your perception of them changed? I feel like I've answered that one already, so I'm going to continue on to yours. Let me share some of my thoughts. What annoys and even disappoints me at times is how often people seem to reduce these characters to a simple choice. Either excuse them completely or write them off entirely. Forgive or condemn. Every character has done horrific things. Every one of them is bad by human standards. Louis' bad, Lestat's bad, Armand's bad. They're all murderers. There aren't characters you're supposed to dismiss as just monsters with no depth or background. The point is that none of them are perfect villains or perfect heroes. And I believe that more people let go of the I believe that the more people let go of the need to categorize everybody as simply good or evil, white or black, and simply let them be gray, the more peace, pain, and enjoyment the show will bring them. What are your thoughts on that? 100% agree. I mean, I feel like that's exactly, I hope at least that's exactly what I have been doing the whole way through. Like, yes, in a moment, I will call them out for the disgusting bullshit that they go through, but at the same time, I'm there to understand how we got to this place. And I get how any one of them could find themselves in the positions or doing the heinous things they do from the perspective of these characters, the unfathomable expanse and feeling and pain that they've experienced as these otherworldly immortal beings that have to kill to live. Like, it's one of those things as a human that you can't necessarily equate it to like our way of life, which is something that Lestat points out, as he tries to point out all the time. Louis always falls back on his human perception of everything while ignoring his part in it all. But it's the truth of it. At the end of the day, they're all tragic. They're all fucked up. They've done good things. They've done bad things. But at the end of the day, like, they're flawed individuals. I agree. I think it's not as simple as that. I think there's a lot more play to be had in the gray and understanding everything, and equally so, like that little like final conversation with Louis and Armand is like, there's going to be things I simply will never forgive you for, but I'm sorry for this. You know, there's always going to be like kind of that kind of scenario with these characters, because they've done fucked up things. Some deserved, some just simply not, and not shying away from their own fault and taking ownership of it has been a kind of a lesson of this as well. And then also absolving themselves of things that were outside of their control. And I think take away the vampire aspect of it. And I think that's something that I think even we can take into our own lives and should try to practice a little bit better. But yeah, no, I agree with you on that front. And I hope that it's coming across that I've been doing my best to do that as well. But fantastic season. Don't know what to expect from this point forward, but whatever the next season is, we'll be there for it, and we'll be checking it out as it comes out, guys. But in the meantime, what did you guys think? How did you feel about this conclusion? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out Lily Chen Sung, Kiana Chanel, McGreg, Angela Burke, Calvin Brindley, CP Bass, Theodore Wolf, Thailand, Denise Bricio, and the Honk. Thank you guys so much for becoming saviors on the channel, helping sponsor, support the rescues that we take care of here at the office. You guys have been a tremendous help with all that. And as always, a huge shout out to all of our channel legends. You, the patrons, allow us to do so much of what we do over here. Without you guys, we would not be able to keep up with all this stuff, get out with the editing, content claims, all that stuff, and keep bringing it to you guys here on YouTube, because without y'all, we wouldn't be here. But that's just video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.